Welcome, welcome. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? This beautiful 28th of April, Monday morning. First things first, I hope everyone had a blessed weekend and, you know, things are definitely different in these times, but, we just gonna keep focused, keep motivated, keep aiming for our goals, keeping our health in check, making sure that we surrounding ourselves with the right music, the right noise, the correct people, and believing that we can, whatever things we are in, a bad situation, a good situation, making the bad a good situation. That's what I'm talking about, right? So, but like, for example, like a cousin of mine reached out, her dog isn't feeling well, and they found a tumor. So, like these things made me look at my dog Pedro, and like, they're almost the same age, both the dogs, and just and it's difficult times as they get older. They can't communicate. Our pets, so definitely, you know, that's also like you know a moment where one needs to recollect and say gather their thoughts and like keep themselves, including me. Like when I'm down in a moment, I'm like, I need to remind myself, like, it's okay. Like this, the pain, the struggle, everything is for a reason. If you believe it's for a reason, if you're still achieving your goals, right? And this channel's about whatever pain you are financially, whatever pain you're in life. I try to like help people through my eyes, through my experiences that I've had in the past to come out on top. And yes, this segment of the channel is mainly about like what I'm doing in the stock market and what I've been doing since 2015. Uh, but it's not about like the private portfolio; it's about the public portfolio. But it's like I know for a fact that you know me having more financial education knowledge helped me prosper. No one taught me this. No one showed me the books. Just a colleague of mine once upon a time said in Dubai, like, why don't you start investing? This is the way. And back then in Dubai with this company Swiss Code, I couldn't only buy like one share, no fractional shares. So long story short, I moved to New York City, the US in 2019 with my wife, and just gonna have a sip. Um, and then okay, the reason why I drink Celsius is because I also invest in Celsius, right? Uh, and I like it. So, right, going back to what we were talking about. So I started the channel, this segment of the channel again, sorry, because fast forward, now I'm in Florida, Fort Lauderdale side. Um, I started this segment because people were messaging me on Discord and WhatsApp group like, we know you're doing this stuff. I see your IG stories. So how can you give me some food for thought? Let's brainstorm, etc., etc. And I'm like, it's becoming quite uh, because obviously I have a lot of family around the world and friends and clients. So I love replying to people instantly because that's how I'm brought up to be. Like, and I said, okay, if I start this segment on the channel, because if you see my channel, it's more like what I do, what my experiences are, what I'm about, where I'm traveling, what are the food joints, it's just like I started shooting memories on my YouTube channel and on Instagram because when my mom passed in 2011, I realized that like pictures just don't do justice. Like photo albums and all this nostalgic stuff is great, but I wanted more. I wanted videos. And I wanted to create memories. Like if I'm going out with my wife, I want to, if I go before her, God forbid, or whatever it is, right? Reality is reality. That she can see this, or loved ones can see some memory with me sharing with them, and that's why I actually started this channel. It's just not for kicks or anything. It was actually for for me to relive those memories, right? Now I'm using AI, which is so weird. Just some for my own person. I don't upload it. Seeing my mom do some action, which is so weird because I had the tech back then, but I never took advantage of it using capturing her in videos. And even the video quality that I capture, I never invested in any better camera or better phone. I'm like, I'm just going to use a BlackBerry or Nokia or whatever, like gets the job done, and I'm happy with it, right? And back then, even like we never casted or streamed the footage from our phone, well, me at least, on TV screen or etc. So I was just happy seeing the visuals on the. But once you transmit it or convert it or share it on these things, it just looks really terrible, in my opinion, right? So going back to uh, like I'm not pointing fingers that no one taught me this or that, but I'm in a time, or I was in a time like when I started in 2015, I realized now that I should have definitely done more with it. And even yesterday, I was chatting to a guy. If you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. And funny enough, he put a picture in New York City, and I'm like, hey, I used to live in that building. And I reached out and I'm like, listen, he said, oh, you should come back, like, visit us. I'm like, yeah, I didn't leave the country. I'm still in the country, but I'm 20 minutes or 30 minutes out of Miami. And the dude's turning 21 soon. And I'm like, this is the best point in your life. I wish I started investing so much earlier, right? Even if it's like small bits, compounding is just great. You gotta have patience, right? You gotta understand your motive so you can control it. And like I'm telling you, dude, like you're gonna be a millionaire. You're gonna be a multi-millionaire. If you just start now, you're gonna hit it. So the thing about compounding is great, right? Dollar costing, DCA, dollar cost averaging is great, especially if you don't know too much about it. You're like, okay, I'm just going to be safe, put in ETFs, VOO, QQQ, get some, because that, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor of any sort. I'm not certified or anything, but I'm just sharing my experience, with you guys, what I've been doing in the market since, a decade and some change. And uh, on the screen, TV screen, that's Adobe, a stock that I like to buy because it's just taking beating. So I told the dude, like, here's some videos, have a look if it interests, if you want to get on a call, let me know. But turning 21 in today's age, and he's already with the right mindset. He's like, oh, I was looking at investing, I'm like, hats off to you, because me at 21, I was different. So anyway, um, going back to today's market and where we are. So, if you guys want to start this journey for yourselves, I suggest doing it. I'm sharing the public portfolio that I opened on Robinhood, not a long time ago. And the reason that I'm sharing this is because I'm going to show you like what I'm doing with the public portfolio from 0 to 10,000, 10 to 20, 20 to 50, and then onwards, right? What I'm buying in the public portfolio, what I'm not buying, what I'm holding off, and yeah, let's take it from there. Let me just open. So, hope this is going to work. I started casting, mirroring. So, let's see if this opens. Okay, well, give me a second. Okay. What's happening now? Give me a second. And if you guys want to like reach out and let me know what you guys are buying, if you're new to the market, uh, sorry, this for some odd reason. Okay, should work then. What you guys are looking at, if you're not buying, if you're not buying, why is it saying this? I just did this. Okay, that's crazy, bro. Okay, I think I got it sorted. Why is it not open? Okay, it should work now. Technology, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like this channel, when you go live, everything is like in real time. So yeah, we're almost there, guys. And the reason that I'm obviously not sharing the screen right now because obviously it's asking me for some data and okay, we're on. There you go. So now looking at Robinhood as of today, if you looked at the earlier videos, we were what? I think we closed. at 7-1 something and some change, and we are down. I mean, you can see it, we're down $18. The first thing that I put in this portfolio was XRP, just so you know. And it was, well, we can actually see with this when I first bought XRP, so y'all can see how, right. So it was April 7, 2000. So basically, a year ago, this portfolio was open. Look. So I remember sitting with a friend of mine, and he was like, I want to get into XRP. Let's even look at the price of XRP. This segment of the channel, I normally talk about stocks, but I'm actually going about why I started this public portfolio. And I first bought XRP in this portfolio, in the public portfolio, at 1.77 when XRP ended, right? Amount filled, 100 XRP at $1.77, correct? So let's just go back. So that's when I started this public portfolio, right? And if you look at XRP today, where we at? XRP is 1.42. Uh, 1 year ago, so I'm down 31%, but why isn't it showing me? Let's go back. It'll show me here. See, so I'm down $200. And honestly, I've been converting some of my XRP from Robinhood public portfolio and buying other stocks like Adobe and all, which will go around. The other crypto I bought was HBAR. There's only two cryptos. All of my crypto mainly sits in Coinbase. Uh, and I'm not investing any more in crypto as of today, just for your knowledge. And the reason why is this my personal reason. Like I do believe in crypto. I believe in what I'm doing in crypto. However, I need to see some stability in certain coins to add more to it and to understand where the market's going with all this Clarity Act and everything. So let's look at HBAR. HBAR, let's look at the same thing when I first bought HBAR on the public portfolio. So I bought it July 27. Again, you know, soon will be a year. I bought it at, so what did I put it? Like probably $50 at 0.24 cents, right? And if you go back, we look at age bar sitting at 0.08. Doesn't make sense, but yeah, so I'm down 40. Let's just look at that again. Give me a second. This is it. So July 27th, limit price 24. So yeah, it's quite up there. So obviously I was dollar cost averaging in a bit with the same person who I opened XRP with. And obviously I told the broski that, listen, I'm doing this. I'm converting XRP in my public portfolio to other things which we'll get into. So like I said, that's what's happening in here. My goal is to bring this. I honestly, like I said, I only started adding stuff recently to the, and it's already 7. So the goal is to hit 10. So going back to, let's look at the stocks now, right? When I say going back to the portfolio. So what I'm doing, I'm not duplicating anything in the private to here. There's obviously one or two duplicates only because, and I'll tell you which ones those are, only because like I'm helping other people. Like, okay, if you're buying VO, it's the best thing to buy in my opinion if you're new to this game, right? And why? Because that's like it follows the S&P 500. That's like duplication. For example, in this, right? So I do have hood and coin as well in the private portfolio which I got, but like I'm certain duplications are based because I'm showing people like when I was buying these things, especially hood, I was buying it when it was red, like 3-4 weeks when the market ago which was down. I'm like, guys, like this is what I'm doing, like get into it because I like to buy stuff and they're red, right? And again, just to revisit, it's mainly about stocks, this channel at this point in time, only because I have more knowledge and I've been trading since 2015 in the stock market, right? Crypto is really new to me, and I've at this point in time not so. dialed in. Yes, I go for the events, and yes, I go for the conferences around the world. Thanks to a friend, she knows if she watches this. Thanks to her. Um, for always inviting me to these things, and I love to be in the space. And we have always, I had a great conversation with her yesterday. It was amazing, to be honest. It was a good catch up. She's still in New York City, but this is why I talk. This channel is basically about stocks, because this is where, if your money is just sat in a traditional bank, in a checking or saving, and you're not earning at least minimum 3.5% high yield or APY a year from your money sitting, whatever money sitting in, and you're not touching, and you're like, oh, I'm going to save it because this is the way to save. You should move it into investments, because I can see, and I, from my own eyes, that when I started this journey of mine, my investment account was making, like, the first year I think I hit 38%. Like, so it's not rocket science, right? So let's look at this, because it's much easier now that I've, thanks to that person who mentioned on the earlier video that, why don't you do casting, and I said, okay, you know what, let me just level up and find out how to do it. So anyway, here it is. So the two banking apps in well, the two banking stocks that I buy in the public portfolio, and I'm not in a race. The only race that I want to get to, if you want to call it a race, is to get this to 10K ASAP. Whether it takes a month, 3 months, 6 months, but I'm trying to get it before, to, in my books, 4 months, right? Let's say 4 months is the target goal to make this account 10, the public. So far, let's look at this. It's currently 19.72. Look at that candle. That's a day. That's crazy. Need to have a sip of Celsius for that. Not sponsored, by the way. And about the Celsius at a deal. So I've never been to a restaurant depot, and I went recently, and I'm like, they're like, oh, do you have an LLC? And this, I'm like, I do, but I didn't have any, like, my data for some reason. I'm like, okay, can I just walk in? Is there like a daily pass for people? They're like, yeah, yeah, cool. She's like, yeah, walk in. There's a daily pass ID. Walked in, bro. Like, I put a video on my channel. Watch it if you want. It's about Restaurant Depot. If you don't know what's a restaurant depot, it's amazing. It's quite chaotic in it, but like the deals you get for stuff like Celsius, my water. I love drinking glass bottled water. I prefer Saratoga only because, obviously, uh, not obviously, but then again, it's like sort of like nostalgic New York vibes. So, but the pricing, I've never seen it as cheap as in a restaurant depot. Now, I can't talk about everything in a restaurant depot. I just found this. These things what I bought, uh, easy price. So, SoFi Tech. So, if you guys don't know what is SoFi Technologies, SoFi is a bank. It's not your traditional bank. It's a bank that I bank with. And why it's great is because, to be honest, it's like, gives you great high yield when you open, first of all, an account. I think at that time they give us like $400 or $500, like, crazy, right? Free, bro. Like, just open it, put some money in, blah blah blah, do your thing, get all these things. So there's no brick or mortar stores for this, which is basically no retail stores, no branches. It's completely online. It's on the app, and it's so dialed in for today's market, right? So I would say look into it, get into it, and let's get into it. So average cost is 18.05. That's what's in the public portfolio. Currently up $7 and some change. That's the value of SoFi in this. I have about 6.4 shares. And the great thing about Robinhood is that I'm a gold member. I only pay $5. Yeah, you can see the gold. It kind of gives you the stats of Morningstar, right? So it's basically telling you that, look, fair value of the stock is 19. So currently it's above that. And tomorrow I'm going to get into something called the peg ratio, and how I actually, little more, like, I'm trying to like level up in terms of, I'm trying to speak to the audience in, like, if I was starting today, what I would do in a portfolio, right? So as soon as I start getting some traction, we just hit. My wife messaged me earlier. She's like, "Yo, your channel hit 500 subs, bro." That's like, and I'm like, teamwork, because most of the videos she has helped me with when we were doing like traveling, but she's like, "No, babe, this is all new," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's great, but like I'm whoever watches this part of the channel is like, I'm trying to get like your mind, like, if you're in your 20s or your 30s right now, even if you're in your 40s or whatever, right? touching 50, you never started this investment journey for whatever reason. Just because you were, I don't know, maybe it didn't show you. This is why I'm just showing this. I'm showing you full transparency. Like, guys, a year ago, this account was like nothing. It's like, obviously, I'm down. Like, if I didn't put money in the crypto, you guys saw earlier, we should go back. Like, let's just go back since I'm talking about it. Like, I wouldn't be this because all this is in green, right? So, going back to SoFi, like, imagine, like, if you had money sitting in your checking account or 20 saving account, and you had like, would you have made $7 in, like, how long did it take to make $7? Bro, look, March 11, 2026, there's no more, there's no show more. I bought this. Now I have SoFi in the private portfolio. I got SoFi in the private portfolio at 7 point something dollars. Like, literally 7.08 or something. And I'm not here to boast, I'm not here to brag. I'm like, guys, there's no like right time to get in the market. There's no right time to do anything. Action stuff, really thirsty because I also went to the gym, and then early in the morning after walking my dog. So I'm like, I drank a full bottle of water, trying to hit, I'm trying to like stay away from a hot beverage, coffee. Like, I like coffee in the morning and keep it more for lunchtime. And I just like this flavor. It's mango lemonade. If you know, you know. Yourself is mango lemonade. Anyway, uh, so like I'm saying, look at that. That's when I put $91, $10, and 50, right? And if you had that money sat anywhere in a traditional bank, right? Like whatever, HSBC, that's only because I bank with that bank, or Chase or whatever, etc. Right? I'm not gonna name all the banks. So getting back to what Morningstar is, it's a research report with basically data analytics telling people like, hey, indication showing this is 3 out of 5, fair value is only 19. Read the full report if you want, but sorry, let's go back up. But it's already past 19, so obviously they're gonna update and the review. But that's what I'm trying to show you. Like, you know, your your money, you can just make money. That's 6.5%. That's even higher than what I said, like when it comes to APY, higher than the 3.5, whatever, right? So in a portfolio, you don't have to be in everything to make it happen, right? What I suggest to people is like how I told myself, like the first stock I ever bought in my private portfolio is Facebook when it was Facebook, not Meta, right? And the reason why I bought that because I'm like, if I'm investing, I want to invest in stuff that I know of, right? So at that time, I didn't even put money in the S&P 500 because one stock would have been what, 3 grand or something, because I could only buy one share of everything. I couldn't buy fraction shares, unfortunately. Like Robinhood, if you're gonna go buy the stock, you can just buy it. Look, $1, $2, three. I think you can even do like this, like, and still buy. Obviously, I don't have any buying power in this right now, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't have that ability, right? So the reason that I have SoFi and this is American Express is because I'm trying to diversify this portfolio as well, just not duplicate what people are getting into, what I'm advising them. And when I say duplicating, is like, for example, if you reach out to me and I'm like, hey, let's do this, it's new to you, I'm like, bro, like I got you, right? So if you're buying 10 of like Amazon, for example, I'm like, I'm putting 10 in Amazon at the same time, just to give you some reassurance that I'm doing it with you as well, right? And that's the public portfolio, right? So if you guys have any stocks that you think is going to do well and you've done your due diligence, and I'll do my due diligence about that stock, maybe we can add it to the public portfolio. But going back to what I'm saying, you don't need to be in 50, 100 things. Have a good handful of stocks that you believe in, you've done your research, you know what's going to happen, and get into those stocks that you believe. I would say, like, if you believe in Amazon and you use Amazon as a company, as a brand, as a web store, online store, e-commerce, blah blah blah. Whether you're a affiliate with the brand and you're making money with Amazon online, sharing goods, taking videos, or using your copy associates link and putting in your IG or TikTok, whatever, right? Or just consuming from them like daily or Prime TV, buy Amazon. I'm buying Amazon in my private portfolio forever. And when I say forever, it's like I see that stock. being the one stock in my private portfolio which I'll have most of than the all the other individual stocks. And why? Because I see Amazon, and again, this is just my opinion, right? I see Amazon as um, a company where the next generation, so basically, like if I had kids, which I don't, or they had kids, that's one stock that I feel like they would continuously buy because they will, like, I don't see anybody else coming for an Amazon. For example, like going back to Celsius, there could be another energy drink that will come and take that space in the future, right? So with my Celsius stock on private, I'm not as big or as exposed into Celsius stock because of that reason. I put enough a bag and I've accumulated enough. My mindset say, okay, this is my position. That's what I want to have in Celsius to make this much gains, right? But with Amazon, every time it dips to a position, I'm like, okay, great. Again, to accumulate stock, I buy Amazon. So going back to the, so have a diverse portfolio, believe in things that you want to be in. From the banking industry in the public portfolio, I put in SoFi and American Express. American Express, again, I use this. Like I said, I use SoFi, I use American Express. I got a credit card, the wife's got a credit card. It's $331. I believe, like, even though people pay to be in American Express, like me, myself, to have the card, it does give you the privileges, it does give you all that back if you know how to use it. Like, it gives you so much back. I don't want to get into names because some people don't like these brands, like whatever, so I'm not trying to get into all that. But there's so many things it gives you, like Aura Ring, Lululemon, hotel credit, this, like even like when I stream with my American Express card, it gives you $300 a year back, right? So every month, my YouTube Premium, my Hulu, which I watch CNBC on, all this thing, it gives you like, I think, yeah, so $300. So you do this year. The only thing, what I gotta say, to get that $300 back on your American Express, make sure that you're not paying with Google Pay or Apple Pay with the credit card. You got to pay it with. So you take your American Express Platinum and then put it. Oh, even if it's gold, I don't know if what gives you the. If they both give you digital credit, you have to pay with the credit card on Hulu's website or like YouTube's website, not with Apple Pay or Google Pay, right? Just food for thought. So American Express is $331 right now. In this, there's hardly anything. Like I said, I was showing people, like if you're looking at a banking um, app, banking stock to add in your portfolio, these are the two I would recommend. Right? That's just my thing. Right now, just with that little play, we've already had. So with $60, we've made it five. That's almost 10%, right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm showing you guys, like, as a beginner, if you're starting a portfolio right now, this is what I would do. This is what I'm talking about. Right now, Morningstar is already saying it's $300. So we're already up. So obviously, it's great because we could hit new highs, but we got to see what's happening, right? I don't have any American Express in my private portfolio. I have a lot of SoFi, and that's just my position, right? I've never owned American Express, and it's something that I've always wanted to look at, and I definitely will increase this to much more when it dips hard. And if it doesn't dip hard, I'll just dollar cost average when it does dip, right? So that's the two banking companies, brands, stocks that I have in a public portfolio, SoFi and American Express. Now, these two are Coin and Hood, another diversification in a different sector, in my opinion. So, Coinbase, we all know what Coinbase is. If you don't, it's an app that I don't know if it's global, but it's good at. I know it's in Europe as well, so it's pretty much global. But it's an app that I use for all my crypto purchases, right? So it's currently 201. The candlestick is going up. Average cost that I've got it in the public portfolio is $164. I've made $45 on my investment, which is 242 total. So I'm up 20, almost 23% on having 1.2 shares. So hardly anything. I have I have Coinbase in the private portfolio, but like I'm saying, I'm just mentioning that out loud. But I'll get back to what price. I can't remember the price on what I got Coinbase on the private, but I'll tell you those guys. Or I'll post it. Let's see what if there's. So there's no Morningstar. Oh, here it is, 160. So again, another stock that we passed the high, which is they recommended that the fair value of this company. Again, tomorrow I'm going to do a video more about the PEG ratio. What does PEG mean? How I use it to buy stocks in my private portfolio and also in the public, right? But again, just mentioning, not to sound like a broken record or monotonous, guys, hardly any money is just gaining me money. $45 gained 23%. We were just saying it's 22 gain from hardly anything. So imagine if you put like 500, 1,000, 10,000, right? That's what I'm saying. Every little money would compound. And look, you're like, okay, well, Jeremy, but tell me, when did you get into Coinbase on your public portfolio? Let's look at it, right? May 6, 2025. If you feel that's a long time just to make that money, imagine if you put a bigger bag, right? You put a grand, you put this, that's easy money. Like if you're like just parking your money in a saving account and you pass 1 year and your bank didn't even give you any return, that's crazy. Come on now, right? So in the traditional financial market, like as a bank, these two apps in this portfolio, as a in the portfolio, these two are together. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, so when I'm looking at this portfolio and say I'm diversifying, this is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, so two traditional banks in that sense, and two investment banks, right? Where you can also buy currently on Coinbase, you can buy stocks, right? So you can buy stocks and crypto, okay? And forget all of the other jazz that Kalshi does, even Coin does it, and Hood does it. So let's go to Hood, Robinhood. That's the app that we're on right now, and I invested in this in the public portfolio. In the public portfolio right now in Hood, we're up 7.4%, 28 bucks made, $404. Average cost is 82. It's 88. Let's say Morningstar has any review on this stock. Doesn't seem like it. When did I first buy Hood in this public portfolio? Is again May 6th, right? Started, like you say, DCA, dollar cost averaging, right? Just putting in pa 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 pa. There you go, right? And like I said, I like to buy when it dips in anything. So in Hood, up 29. Okay. VOO, guys, follows the S&P 500. You know, any portfolio, my private portfolio, biggest position is in VOO. Second biggest, QQQ. What is QQQ? It's like it's exactly like this. All the top 500 companies, but it's mainly to do with tech or only tech, right? So although these things have, like, you'll have a Nvidia, for example, in VOO, you'll also have a Nvidia in Triple Q, but it's just tech related. Now, when the market's volatile, the biggest hits are tech. So when something happens in the market, war, politics, blah blah blah, right? Tech hits the hardest because it also has the room to grow the fastest, right? So when you're buying the ETFs, index funds, whatever, right? Make sure that those things you get into SPMO, SCHD, VO, VOG, VTI, Triple Q, all these, make sure that those you get into the right diversification, like how I'm showing you here, the banking apps, the investment apps online, right? So yeah, again, SCHD. But look at these gains, guys. Come on, like how much money is in this view? Like nothing. I don't even have one stock. So one stock 649 currently. It's 0.7, 467, 16. Look, guys. Again, this money, you can get this from a bank. Good bank, 3.5%, right? But VOO, obviously, I don't think they'll have a Morningstar review on VOO. And look, the app shows you everything, that the sectors, the top 10 holdings, Nvidia. So when you're buying VOO, you're buying into these companies, right? The data is there, whatever app you use. So I've recommended the apps that I mainly use. Robinhood, it's in my, you'll see the links below. Mumu, what else do I use? Obviously, I use Coinbase for crypto, but you can buy stock. But they give most of these apps, have all these data. Even real estate, bro. Like, if you don't own real estate, I don't own any real estate, like personally own. So I'm in real estate. Look at that, right? So I don't think there will be anyway. And it gives you news articles, right? So let's go back. So I would say VO, SCHD, these companies, and I think there's SPMO as well on this, have have these ETFs as your base. Just like I'm saying, from experience, I'm not a certified uh, financial advisor or any sort. Like, after buying Facebook in the early days, I made sure I surrounded my portfolio with a good foundation of VO. So SPMO, VO, Triple Q, SCHD, 10 shares, like $31. Come on, guys. It's like in you, wherever you are, that's like what? A coffee is like $10, three coffees, right? 312, it's already given me close to 9%, $24. It's three coffees besides the taste going to give you that, right? So what I'm trying to say, why I mentioned coffee, because if you have money for buying coffee daily outside, maybe you skip every other day and just put it in this. That's just my opinion, right? So yeah, so like you said, like I'm saying, like in the public portfolio, that's what I'm adding, right? Two of these, again, ETFs, Microsoft, great company. And look, guys, if you go back to my couple of videos behind, all this is in red. And I was saying, guys, I'm buying, right? Um, Microsoft, one share is 417 and some change. My position right now, I've made $20, hardly anything, but it's $20, bro. $20, right? That's my market value. So in Microsoft and the public portfolio, 746. I've been a long investor of Microsoft in the private portfolio long. And every time it's taking a beating, I'm putting more in this portfolio only because I've got it at a really good price in my private portfolio. Even if I buy more stock, the average cost will go up, but it won't even affect my long term. But I just wanted to add this one because I'm like, okay, I didn't want to touch Microsoft in private. It just made sense to me and it was aligned with me. So like, I'm just gonna, if I'm gonna accumulate more shares when it comes to Microsoft to get even this portfolio to 10K and beyond, I'll add Microsoft in this portfolio, right? And let's just see. And look, it has like the market cap and all. Now, market cap is what the company's evaluated, like the valuation of the company. So they're at 3.10 trillion, right? The biggest company in the world is Nvidia, right? I think they four something. So anyway, all these data, 93% buy, 7% holds. Look, it's all there, guys, in your apps. Whether it's Robert, 600, bro, 600. Morningstar rating 5 to 5. Look at, bro. And you know why I get every computer, every office, everything, whether even if it's a MacBook or whatever, right? Everybody that my MacBook, the one I'm on right now, has Microsoft Office, right? Well, when I say that, it has Outlook, and so everybody I know, my wife's computer, also an Apple MacBook, her company laptop has Microsoft Outlook and Office and PowerPoint they still use. Or that's a company. And if you see dipping, and what is dipping, like if you go back to my earlier videos, you will see I'm adding Microsoft in this video, in this portfolio at what price points, right? Again, what is APH? Everything is mentioned there. We're already up 10% in APH. They also say, like, show you annual meetings, all the details about the companies, and everything is right. Fiber optic connectors. I was talking to my wife the other day, and like, she's like, why you buy silver? Why do you buy all these copper and commodities and etc.? I'm like, you know what? The way where AI is going and the amount of people using it in the future, that I can just see more companies coming up and more consumption of this. So you need hardware, right? You need hardware. You need wires. You need like copper, I don't know, fiber things. So I'm like, like this is why in the private portfolio I buy energy stocks, right? So going back to this, this is why this is in this. I have this in the private portfolio as well, but I'm trying to like diversify this portfolio just to get, let's say, 170. Where are we right now? So we are almost gonna hit there, right? So this is what I'm saying. Like this is how the diversification is in this. What is Microsoft? It's like a SaaS stock, like like ServiceNow, Adobe, CRM, but it's also so much more than a you know like the stock is not. It's bigger than that because there was time they used to make phones and blah blah blah, right? So with Copilot now as a AI, like I can just see Microsoft doing more things than what IBM did back in the day, for example, right? And it's just my opinion, right? Google, everybody knows what Google is. Um, and obviously, I have this stock in a way bigger position on private portfolio. Again, I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. But like I'm telling people because I got into Google with someone, can't remember who, but I'm like, guy, bro, oh, I mean, I say everyone, bro, whether you're whatever gender. I'm like, yeah, this is it, bro. Like, get into Google because you use Google every day, right? If you have an Android phone, Google, YouTube, it's all the same ecosystem, right? So Nvidia, you guys know what I mean. But look at the gains, right? Like I said, like I'm just putting small amount of money in my opinion. Whatever your money is, you can make it increase. Whether you put 100, 100,000, 10,000, whatever, right? Now these two are still taking a beating. Well, I'm not buying anything at this point in time because I want it to drop. Like if you look at it's 247 a stock. If you go back to my earlier videos, you'll see what I was buying. I'll show you right now. Okay, so I'm minus 5%, so it's not a lot. I would like to see this, like if this was down like minus $100, I'm buying. I'm buying more. I'm adding, right? 677. And I use Adobe. I know everyone uses Adobe, like in my circle. I know people using it at work. I know blah, blah, blah. So everyone, 45% are buying, 8% are selling. Let them do their thing. I'm not scared, right? I've done my due diligence. 380 is their fair value. 380. So let's look at Adobe more detailed. Okay, let's see here. Show more. It's opening. When did I first get into Adobe? Wow, see, I was recurring in the public portfolio. Okay. First time I bought Adobe was only in December, not too long ago. You know, up for $50. Why isn't it not market buy? Let's go to that. So I bought it at 346. Do you remember what it is today? 346. I think 247 or something, if I'm not mistaken. 247. There you go. So my average cost is 262. So it's not too far away from, in my opinion, it's not too far away. It's gonna hit there, but I bought it at 345, right? Almost $100 difference. So I know that this company it has to. I mean, like I'm showing you, Morningstar is saying 600, 380. Sorry, 380. That was another stock which we saw 600. Microsoft, 380. So I'm going to make money on it, and if it when it hits 380, it's going to go beyond. That's what I've seen. Same with Adobe. Oh, Meta. Did I miss Meta? So I love this company. My first company I ever bought of when it was Facebook 611. I have I think this is my biggest position apart from as an individual stock in my private portfolio. Meta is the biggest, and I think second is Amazon. Um, Guys, this is the winner. I use WhatsApp daily. I use Instagram daily. I don't use Facebook as I used to before, obviously due reasons. But if you Google or check or Reddit or whatever you use now, whether you use AI, put on chat, Claude, whatever, see how many companies these guys own besides Oculus, besides you'll see it. So total value in this public portfolio 972, $86 and some change, 10%. Let's see the review. 850. 850. You can see it, right? Obviously, I took out my cursor, so you all can't see my cursor, but I can see it. It's 850, fair value 850. So, uh, guys, and do yourself a favor, like just teach yourself something that you can make more money. And I've done it this way. So Adobe CRM, again, I'm not going to open everything today, but you kind of get the idea like how diversified this portfolio is. SPMO is a great one to have. So I have in my private portfolio VOO and SPMO is recurring every month. And if you've been following me, you know how much money I've been transparent that I'm putting into these two in my private. But average cost 117, it's 127. I've made 8% almost, 25 in this. Guys, just, now service now, golf and Amazon, right? So Nike and Webull. So like look at this, right? This I put like no money, right? So my I've made 52 cents, which is 5%. Now this was just a test. I'm just keeping this on my radar. Webull is another investing app. If you know, you know. But I'm keeping this on my radar. I don't invest in this in the private portfolio, so I'm just looking at it right now. But yeah, don't. If you want to look at it, this is how I look at stuff, right? I don't add it. If something interested me, I'll add it in like a Webull or actually in a portfolio like this, just to keep it on my radar. Guys, I want to leave you with this. Okay, start investing, bro. Like invest in right stuff, companies you believe in. Um, Let me just minimize this. 1 second. Guys, start investing in companies you believe in, companies that you use daily. If you use Uber for whatever Uber Eats is, that if you're spending money on Uber, just invest as Uber. You know, if you spend money with Amazon, invest in Amazon. You know, I wish I could go back in time and tell my earlier self like invest, let it compound. Make it happen. Like it's money there. It makes so much sense to me as of today because I can see the gains, but I wish I had told my earlier self that come on, health and wealth, take care of it, right? And I'm on this health journey as well. Maybe there's proper reasons behind it, you know. And to be honest, maybe the universe has said like, Jeremy, instead of just making videos where you're sharing your experiences for your own benefit that you can watch it one day, whether you get likes or whatever, maybe give it back, right? And that's what I'm trying to do. Um, on that note, thank you for tuning in. Peace, make it happen, own it, and one love.